It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
All right, so Bob Iger said that he admitted, and he took responsibility and the blame for too many Star Wars movies too fast. We got our first one in 2015, and we've had 4 in the last 3 years. It's too much. It's too fast. He said, my bad. We're going to slow down. We're going to slow your roll there, Professor. And they're going to not stop the movies, but maybe we're not going to get one every 6 months to a year. And, it's... I don't know that that's a good thing. I think it's good that they're taking their breath right now. Nothing's coming out until December of next year, which is good. I'm all on board with that. But at the same time, we're getting 3 Marvel movies a year. And there's no burnout with Marvel. We want more Marvel. We're demanding more Marvel. Nobody cares about that. I don't think it's the speed of Star Wars. I just think that the movies just haven't been spectacular.
You're being very kind.
I am.
The movies have been garbage.
Oh, shut up. They've not been garbage.
Ooh, Goose's hot take.
Rogue One was garbage.
Rogue One was garbage.
Rogue One was not a good movie, and I will stand by that all the time. Rogue One was not a good movie.
Force Awakens was basically an Episode 4 remake.
Goose, let's play a game real quick. Name the movies that have come out in the last 3 years, Star Wars films that are not garbage.
Force Awakens.
I'm glad. Oh, you had something to say.
Solo.
Last Jedi.
Solo was not garbage.
I haven't seen Solo, so
boo.
But Force Awakens was borderline garbage. Last Jedi took risks, but as you've seen, that's got a lot of fan hate.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it from a fan love perspective, yes, everything's been garbage. But if you look at it from a quality standpoint, I'll give you Last Jedi. I haven't seen Solo, so I have to remain neutral on that.
Solo is the Ant-Man of that series.
The thing that Rogue One had going for it, which I really enjoyed, is that you can't make a sequel out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Although you could argue that A New Hope was the sequel.
Well, actually, what you could do, you could take the people from Rogue One and the Avengers that didn't make it in Infinity War and make a movie on that. It's called The Beach.
Oh,
wow.
Dang.
Wow, okay,
Dang.
Shots fired. I would say right now they're 2 for 4. As far as garbage goes, okay, we're talking like Suicide Squad level garbage. That's Rogue One.
Man.
And you could make an argument for The Last Jedi.
The
Force Awakens was a passably good movie. You've got passionate characters, they're acting well. If you take away the one giant criticism, which is, like the last half of it is like basically A New Hope redone. But if you take that away, it's a pretty good movie.
Man, I think you're being really mean to these Star Wars films because you're comparing them to Suicide Squad. And I know earlier I mentioned that I thought Suicide Squad was definitely a good comic film. Not a great film.
No, it had a good trailer.
Definitely. It's definitely good in the way of it pretends to be the comic. But I don't think it's anywhere near as... I don't think any of the Star Wars films are anywhere near as bad as Suicide Squad.
Well, okay, but we're talking garbage. Not that it wasn't a good movie. Not that it had issues. We're talking garbage.
Not steaming pile of garbage on fire.
That would be two out of the 4.
Any of them are garbage. Personally, I didn't feel that any of them were garbage, in my opinion. But I'm also not the huge Star Wars heads that you guys are.
Well, anyways, so went off on a bit of a tangent there. So they're slowing down on the Star Wars movies, which is okay. I don't care. I really don't care if we get one every 6 months or if it's every 18 months. I don't care. I just want them to be good movies. And 2 out of the 4 of them have been good movies, and 2 out of the 4 have not.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's good if we get I want it to be back in the there was a time not too long ago where we would get a really good movie.
Yeah.
And then we'd build anticipation for a year and get it 2 years later. And then those movies paid off because you had time to work on that script. You had time to test it. You had time to expand on that. And now we're getting them every year. And I think that's part of the reason we have all these mixed bag movies.
But we also get 3 Marvel movies a year.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, with that, I've been thinking about this.
Okay.
With the Marvel movies, when the first round came out, there was no expectations to anything. When they do an origin story, when they introduce a new one, there's no real expectation
True.
of anything. With Star Wars, there's expectation all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, people want basically a remake of the original trilogy until they see it. Then it's like, that's just a remake of the original trilogy.
That's true. The fans, the fans. I've got some thoughts about what the fans really want.
Oh, you do,
and I'll expand on those later because we don't have that much time left.
No, we don't.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. It's just don't suck. I think that's really the bottom line. I could get a Star Wars movie, every 3 months, as long as they don't suck. And I think that's part of the issue right now is that they're not wowing us with these movies. I look forward to a Marvel movie, even Captain Marvel. I'm looking forward to it. They have a track record of success of blowing me away with the quality of their films. When it comes to the Star Wars movie, the only thing I'm looking forward to is watching the fans eat themselves.
I don't know. I just don't agree because let The Dark Knight, for example. Dark Knight's great, right? You know why? Because there were only 3 in the Dark Knight trilogy, and The Dark Knight is amazing, and they didn't try to make 50 of them. You have you have really good Marvel movies, and then you have some Marvel movies that get away with being okay.
Like what?
Like both Ant-Man movies.
The second one, yeah, but the first one was actually pretty good.
The first one was pretty good, but it was just okay. Think about it. All 4 of the original Phase 1 films before the Avengers, they're just passable films. None of them
they're not great.
are absolutely amazing, except Iron Man. Iron Man, I think, is exceptional. The other ones are just kind of like
the first Thor movie was okay.
So you made
that's my point.
I thought it was pretty good,
but they're just okay.
You made a comparison to the Dark Knight trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about superhero movies is this: by and large, until the Marvel Cinematic Universe came out, you could do only a decade worth of a single franchise before they aged out.
Yeah.
And they exist in different universes. Star Wars has never had a multiverse issue. They've always said it exists in one universe. And with the exception of Solo and basically Rogue One, they pretty much stuck to that continuity. They did they called them
chronologically. Yeah.
So, but you reboot the entire Star Wars franchise, you're going to have fans, burning down Disney World.
Mm-hmm. You know what the biggest problem Star Wars has, or has had since 2015?
The fans.
Well, besides that, the biggest problem with this is that there's no continuity in their movies. And I mark the tape. This is the absolute biggest problem, is that it looks like the way they're making movies is throwing darts at a board. You've got Rogue One, which takes place around the time of A New Hope. You have Solo, which takes place before Rogue One, I think.
Around episode 3, maybe?
But yeah, like a little after episode 3, maybe. And then you've got episode 7 and episode 8, which are way ahead. They're 30-something years, 30, 40 years in the future. You got the prequels, which are way in the past. There's no continuity. Rogue One has nothing to do with Solo. Solo has nothing to do with A New Hope. A New Hope has nothing to do with The Force Awakens. Force Awakens has nothing to do with Rogue One. They're all over the place. Had they followed the Marvel formula, and had they made the standalone movies be in relation to episodes 7 and 8, I don't think we would have as big a problem as we do right now, because there would be some continuity. Right now, I don't know what the next movie's going to be about. It could be anything, and that is a problem.
Well, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying, and I don't think that that's necessarily the problem. I think it's that they do it poorly. Because if you think about it, Captain America came out in 2011, and it took place not chronologically with these other films.
His origin story. Yeah.
Exactly. Captain Marvel's coming out, and it's not taking place chronologically at all from where we are right now. But the point is that they did those well, and they educated the fans, kind of going like, hey, this is what we're doing. It works into this. And I feel like Star Wars kind of forces, hey, this works into this, but we don't care enough.
I think we should have had like a Finn origin story where he's a stormtrooper for the First Order, where he gets his doubts, where he's a good trooper who follows orders, if you catch my reference there. and then he starts to have his doubts, and maybe he does something cool, blah, 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 blah. Maybe we should have had a Captain Phasma story. Mm-hmm. The fact that we did not have a Captain Phasma movie is a giant mistake by Disney. Yeah. And I mean, a colossal misstep by Disney. Not having Captain Phasma be even a factor in episode 7 and 8, that's bad enough. But you could have intertwined these movies a lot tighter. So you see the Captain Phasma standalone in, say, 2016, and you're like, oh, man, now I can't wait to see episode 8 because I want to see how Phasma's going to factor into the next movie.
Yeah, you're right. They won't do that, but they'll shove in a character from the books into The Last Jedi.
That we don't need.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right.
I mean, it literally is them throwing darts at a board and be like, you know what, this one computer programmer, this is the true story. This one computer programmer wants to do a Rogue One movie, so let's do that.
Definitely.
You know, we've always wanted to know where Solo got his name from. Let's do that. When you could
Nobody
have
wanted to
had,
know.
I mean, Ant-Man shows up in Civil War. Okay, Wanda and Vision have their relationship, and that factors into the Infinity War movie.
Definitely.
And because you don't have that continuity, because you're shotgun blasting this all over creation, it's a colossal misstep. That's the problem right there that these movies are having.
So you're saying consequences. There are no consequences in these films. Like from the previous movies, don't affect the future movies.
Right. And there's nothing to look
Makes sense.
forward to. There's no Phasma standalone, so I'm not looking forward to seeing Phasma in Episode 8. There's no hype. There's no build-up. And it's a big-time error on their part. Instead, they're just making it up as they go. That's why the ending of Solo got me hopeful, because I'm like, yes, now we have a movie that'll tie into something else. Now I can get excited about Solo 2, which I guess they'll call Duo, because I know what's coming. I can see this coming. I can build on it. And I'm like, yes, good move.
Do you think it'll be like...
Now they're slowing down, and I'm like, ah!
I think it'll be like Solo, The Rise of Cup.
Solo 2, the duet.
Oh, wow.
And you could have Palpatine, duet.
Oh, wow.
I like
okay.
that very
I don't like this anymore. I don't want to be here.